Ready for Revolution. Welcome, everyone. I'm your brother and friend, Brother Eric Ray Muhammad. Pardon the slight delay in equipment challenges here. But we want to talk to you today from our It's All About the Dream lecture series, which is every Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern United States time zone on the Wealth Minister YouTube channel. I want to talk to you a little bit about cash flow and the mastery of it. Cash flow mastery. How to think in systems, not salaries. Now, this is a wealth building blueprint that we adhere to through mentorship, through guidance, through years of coaching, as well as application. It's a blueprint. Today's presentation, as all of them, are sponsored by From Wish to Winning, our coaching club. This coaching club provides 13 months of leadership training, video, audio trainings, workbooks, one-on-one sessions, group chats, special events, 13 months for only $97. Now, if you want to know more about it, simply you just go to the email, send the message Club 13 to the wealthminister@gmail.com, or you can utilize the phone number on the screen, 678-272-1927, extension 800. One of our From Wish to Winning Coaching Club team members will get back to you. We have a lot of great things going on in this on this platform in the world today, and we want you to be able to take advantage. But it's very difficult to take advantage when you don't have cash flow uh, 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 accomplished. Okay, many people think they have a money problem. They don't have a money problem. They have a cash flow problem, and that's because many of us are dependent upon fly by night uh, opportunities, lotteries, games of chance, but you want to position yourself to submit to a system, something that is automated to give you exactly what you need, when you need it, and how you need it. So we're going to talk a little bit about the paycheck trap. We're going to talk about systems versus salaries. We're going to talk a little bit about ownership mindset, cash flow, leverage, and long-term wealth. And then we may round out, time permitting, with an action plan for you. Okay, let's look at this paycheck trap. Most people in society trade their time for money. That means the income stops when the work stops. Now, what we need is financial freedom, and financial freedom requires a model. All right. And that model has to be developed behind a mind shift. A mindset shift is required. We have to learn how to stop chasing income. Now, this is big because income is just a part of the abundance. And truth be told, folks, you should never chase or have to chase the income or money because everything in the world out of the abundance is designed to benefit man and woman. It's all designed to benefit us. And we operate with the right vibrancy, the right frequency, the right mindset, then we'll attract what we need. You see, anytime now, I can say this with pure confidence, anytime you need a job, chances are your money's unemployed. The money is part of the abundance, and the goal of money is to put it to work. That's the goal. You have to give money a job. Money stays where it's invited, it goes where it's invited rather, and stays where it's welcome. So you have to give a reception for that energy, for that currency, money, and you build a system for it to operate in. This creates value that continues working. See, money never calls for time off, doesn't call sick day, never needs a break. Money put to work properly will continuously crank out what you need. And you need your money to produce money. Start building systems, be a part of systems. It's an automated process and it will create value because the money will continue to work. Now, just so you have an understanding, salary equals active income. Now, I know many of us have what we consider good salaries. Many of us have what we consider good jobs. I'm not knocking that nor hustle. But what I'm saying is over time, that salary will divorce itself from you. Why? Age is a common thing. It's just going to happen. Time takes over. They'll find somebody to do your job cheaper, right? So the salary is already hindered because on a salary, you have a set amount of income that comes once a month or every other week, depending on what it is, what the nature of the job is. The problem is you find yourself doing more for less. You'll put in more hours, more will be required of you, and your hours, your rate of pay does not increase. So that you're operating now out of what's known as a law of diminishing returns. So if you're working 40 hours a week, but your salary is based on 35, and then you find yourself working 90 hours a week, then you're losing 50% on a weekly basis or more on the salary. Not to mention the taxes and the contributions you might make to different retirement programs, deductions made to your medical and insurance. All that is being stripped from this alleged salary, good salary on a good job. As time moves on, you're working to be replaced. That's all you're doing. You're just taking up space until your replacement comes. Now, if you're smart about having the job, having the salary, then you find yourself positioned to finance your freedom. And that's where a system comes in. Part-time, full-time, long as you have something that will create an income for you and requiring less of your time to be there, putting the money to work, giving the money the job, and allowing the money to run around the block for you. And every time that money runs around the block, it comes back with more money to run more around the block. No matter how fast or how slow it is, it's yours. It's coming and it's beyond the paycheck. Now, this is important. You know that the average American sort of avoided foreclosure of their home in the United States if they just had an additional $500 monthly beyond the paycheck, because the paycheck is already spoken for. There's no more room in the paycheck. You need something free and clear of it. And this requires submitting to a system where automation kicks in and allows things to happen for you uh, uh, with very little effort. Systems create recurring value. They create recurring value. Systems can scale beyond your time. The less time you have to give a thing and it runs on automation, the more it can grow and advance and create passive residual or recurring residual beyond the time you give it. Now you got to give it a little time, right? You got to give it a little something to focus on. All right, and it has to have the energy behind it to grow. And the point of the matter is, as it grows with very little involvement on your part, then you realize the power of time. Time is your greatest asset. Time is finite. Money can be replaced, but time can't. So when you invest time building assets, then the less you have to involve yourself, the more time you have to yourself, and the more freedom your income produces. You want to grow from worker to builder. Employees complete tasks. All right, that's what they do. And then they go home. Builders create processes. This is where the systems that are in place allow automation to occur, and you become more of a passive earner. But an owner develops assets. I want you to think in ownership. I want you to have ownership thinking. Ownership and control is the desire, or should be the desire of the day. It should be the order of the day. In ownership thinking, you accept responsibility for where you are, how far you've come, and where you want to go. With ownership thinking, you develop the power of solving problems, because now you're focused on that which is beyond you, and you're focused on a solution for maybe 100 people, maybe thousands of people, maybe millions of people, maybe billions of people. But the more problems you solve with your thinking, when you put it out there, it creates long-term value. Focus on long-term value. Value creation, folks, that's the other element of this, the order of the day. Income will always follow value. What do you bring to the table that people can use, right? Serve more people, solve bigger problems. That's value creation. Okay, now, when we talk about cash flow and explaining it, cash flow is money moving continuously. Recurring revenue increases stability. Systems create predictable cash flow. Now, we operate out of a venture known as multiple income streams. We like to refer to them as multiple sources of income, or MSIs. Now, what are some of those multiple streams? Well, let's look at the employment or the job, your primary career. Don't dismiss that. businesses that you might develop for yourself, investments that you might have produced. It's a fascinating time and space to be in. When you live today in 2026 in this new century thinking, you're living in a day where there's new technology. You're living in a day where there's new money and currencies. And you're living in a day and an age known as the cyber age, right? Or this platform age, right? This is that age where brick and mortar is being reduced or replaced by click and order. You're worrying about AI, right? Replacing people, but you have to look at a whole demographic and understand that society is moving on to do different things with a different age. A new age has emerged. All right. And in the emergence of the new age, technology has to develop. It has to grow. Right. It has to be there to accommodate this age. Demographics have changed. You have all kind of generations. You had the baby boomers. You got the millennials. You got the Gen X, the Gen Y, the Gen Z, and you have another one behind them. I don't remember all the alphabets associated with it, but I do know that people are being born into the world with technologies that they never had to think of. I mean, look at this. The industrial age came about, and most of us who are baby boomers, the majority of us that are baby boomers, we've experienced that last of that industrial age where old money no longer worked. It was it was becoming more and more antiquated or obsolete in our everyday fabric, right? Now you're in an age where people use their cell phone for everything. Can you imagine? Would you ever see a day coming where your cell phone would be your wallet? It would be your bank. It would be your connection for theater, movies, television. You know, the telephone or the cell phone is everything. What happened to that thing that used to come out the wall with a cord that ran to the wall? Remember that? And you had to dial rotary wise. The majority of the generations in front of us today know nothing about it unless they saw a picture. Okay. So you have to give respect, deference to the new age of technology, the new age of demographics, the new age of people and what they're growing into, right? Children are born today with processors greater than the computer processors that you have. They process things so fast, they assess so quickly that you think they're arrogant with you or mean when they say, I got it. I used to try to explain things to my son and daughter, and before I can finish a sentence, they say, I got it, Dad. You don't have to say anymore. Because I come from an age where everything had to be explained. You know, they process faster and are ready to move a little quicker. Hey, did you send that text? Yeah, I did it 10 minutes ago. What? I ain't thought about it 10 minutes ago. Yeah, but they sent it within a matter of seconds, if not minutes. Why? The age that they're in. We might want to call this a generation thumb. I don't know because they do everything with it. Okay. Think about the multiple sources of income you can produce in this age, right? The power of it. Okay. The power of producing income has never, and much of it has never been more on your side, especially when you have the wisdom of time, what you lived through, right? And understanding some practical principles that allow you to move forward. Principles, folks, are those things that transcend time. I did an exercise with some of our team members yesterday. I'm going to make time to show you what that exercise looked like. I move with this all the time. It's a calculator. Its only job is to calculate. I don't use my cell phone for the calculator if I can help it. Rarely do I use the computers or laptops for calculation because in all my travels, I strive to break things down to the simplest form. So I talked to us about lifestyle costs yesterday. Lifestyle costs are those things that you must meet in your household for your household to function on a monthly basis. Now, we're not talking about your contribution to it. Like if you have a $5,000 cost, we're not talking about the 2,500 you put into it. We're talking about the total lifestyle cost. Handles utilities, handles your car notes, handles the food in there. Thing that required to get through your month seamlessly, right? So let's say it's 5,000. This time I'm going to make use of the calculator for the purpose of this screen. I'm going to share a screen for calculation. Give me a moment. And hopefully this will resonate with you in a way that you'll take advantage of it. Now, there's a calculator. Now, let's say, for an example, uh, your lifestyle cost is $5,000. So this is great for entrepreneurs, people who have dreams, who have ideas, who have goals, who want to go into business for themselves, right? So let's say your lifestyle cost is $5,000 a month. That covers everything under your roof, right? Now, on average, there are 30 days to a month. So let's take that 5,000 and divide it by 30, and you have $166 and some change that needs to be generated on a daily basis to reach the $5,000 month. Now, the goal of it, the key to calculating, is breaking things down to the simplest form where your mind can now digest the idea to bring forward the solution. Okay? If you're in products, goods, or services, this is what I do. All right. So now I have it reduced $166 a day. Let's round that up. Let's say it's $167. Okay. And let's take your standard, and you can do it more, but let's take your standard 8 hour uh, work day. Okay. So if you take your $167 that you need to earn daily and you divide that by 8, that's $21.87 or 88 cents more or less, right? Per hour. For 8 hours to give you what you need to accomplish for your day. Okay. Now, if I divide this by 8, let's take a look this way. Let's take that 167 a day and let's give it 10 days. Wait a minute. $167 times 10. That's $1,670, right? But we've already determined that if you break it down in 8 hours, $167, that's $20.87 an hour. But here's the magic. You might have something where you can go to uh, a person every hour and charge them $21. It might be for pastries. You might have cookies. You know, people with a sweet tooth. You take that list. Hey, I got some fresh cookies baked. I want to drop in your hand 4 dozen, $20, whatever the case is. And you sell hourly. You sell per hour, or you sell to 8 people, then you've accomplished your $167. How many people you think will pay you $21 to know how? In that one day, you'll get 10 people who will pay you the $21. You'll get 8 people that will pay you the $21. That's your $167 in that day. If you do it for 10 days or 10 people a day, charging them $167, right? And all you're doing is charge them to show them how they can make 1,600 a month every 10 days, folks, you'll realize that you'll accomplish your $5,000 probably once a week. It's about breaking things down to the simplest forms. The simplest forms. We have in Wish to Winning, we show people the attitude, the mindset, what you have to develop to do this, and then you take action. You take action to produce what you need in your lives. You take action to produce the recurring income or the passive income streams, or to reward yourself by getting your money back, getting your time back, rather. You reward yourself that way. Oh, yeah, it's doable. It is absolutely doable. So I want you to consider those things. I want you to consider uh, not giving up all your time. Don't rely on the paycheck. Build complementary streams. You can use the paycheck to build your stream out. You can use the increased resilience. Now, let me share this with you. In order for this to really take hold for you, pardon me, for you to see it as you need to, as the funds come in daily, you must exercise what's known as denial of instant gratification. That cannot be overemphasized enough because we're a paycheck to paycheck security, so quote unquote security minded with a job and a dollar now, dollar when you catch me mentality, we're accustomed to trying to spend it as soon as it comes in. You ever see what happens when someone gets a raise or a bonus on the job? They increase their spending like that bonus or raise is coming every week with their paycheck or every other week. That is not the process by which you grow or build your wealth. Nothing sustainable. You have to find a way to deny yourself instant gratification and allow something to build. All right. Now, there's a lot of ways you can leverage yourself in a day and an age like today. Technology, automation, building team camaraderie, uh, content, be a content provider, follow processes that will help you leverage yourself and utilize today technology, folks. Use it as a multiplier. Learn how to automate repetitive work. Learn how to reach global audiences. Scale without proportional effort. Okay. Compound growth as we draw to a close. Small, small action repeated consistently. That's compound growth. Skills compound. Investments compound. Businesses mature over time. And I'm going to tell you what else compounds: the relationship you build with people. This is relationship building, folks. And if you don't make time to do that, build meaningful, genuine relationship, you will always find yourself back to the drawing board because the root of every system, people dependent, relationship built dependency. Think more long term, and you'll find yourself resisting that instant gratification you need to spend because it's there. Think in years and not weeks. Build assets before liabilities. Assets, Dr. Ty Best taught me, are those things that keep money in your pocket. Well, liabilities is the opposite of that. Build your assets. Don't build the debt and delay the gratification. And you'll find yourself designing your financial future. Now, here's the task. Identify one scalable opportunity. And you can do it. Just look at what you have in your household. What can I take that I can sell today, tomorrow, the next day? What service can I provide? What good or product can I provide to a community? And when you look at it, and make a list of everybody that you believe would want what you have. You start with the people you know, and then you grow it out to those who they know. And then before you know it, you have a cold list of hundreds of thousands of people possibly who want the services you're providing. See, a lot of times we'll go into business and kill the business from the beginning because we want to produce what we want to give to the world. But it may not be what the world wants. So you'll find yourself in business in less than 3 years, you're gone. But when you do the knowledge, when you do the diligence in learning what people are looking for and learning how to provide that, how to fill that need, well, now you're in the ballpark. Okay. And the bigger fulfillment of need, the bigger solving of problem with your solution, the longer, the more stability you have, and the greater share you receive. Now, here's a 30-day action plan. Week one, audit your income. Understand what your lifestyle costs are. Week two, build a system around it that will allow you to achieve the lifestyle costs. Earn it from the safety and comfort of your home. Automate it by taking advantage of the technology that allows you to make it known. It might be emails, it might be text messages, it might be social media, or create an automated schedule by which people can rely on your product, your good, or service being in front of them all the time, at very least often. Okay. And then week four, evaluate and improve. Tweak everything you did in the previous weeks and keep repeating that process. The key lessons from this discussion: system outperforms salaries, ownership creates opportunity, leverage multiplies efforts, and consistency builds wealth. I want you to look at what we produced here. This is our latest book, Only Doing This Is Done: The Proven Path from Intention to Execution. It is available on Amazon. You can get an ebook download. You can get a paperback version of it. You can get a hardcover copy. The Audible release or the audio release on Audible rather, will happen in just a matter of days. Make sure you make yourselves available for that release. And when I talk to us about our coaching club, our sponsorship here, please don't negate from which to winning coaching club. It's winning, folks. It's doing things for people in ways that they never dreamt were for them. $97 gets you 13 months of tutelage, tutorials, workshops, workbooks, one-on-one coaching from our staff, special event access. All these things happen. We do a monthly open house where we discuss globally our findings and the benefits, as well as introduce income, instant income options once a month to the public. All right. So these are some of the things that we do. I do want to thank you once again for your time and attention. And prayerfully, you found some value in what we shared. And more importantly, we want you to like, subscribe, share the Wealth Minister YouTube channel. Take care, folks. I'll see you next week on It's All About the Dream lecture series. God bless. Forward.